Guys, that is saying, I just want to start like that. It says, Nemo dat quod non habet. This is a Latin adage, and it means no one gives what he does not have. On this note, we are going to start the frying time for today because today we are talking about the power of reflection. Um, it's we tend to devalue this, how powerful reflection is, but it's so powerful. It's so great.
Yeah.
Like using the words of this great man that I so much value, Jim Rohn. He said, "You might not be able to do all that you know, but make sure that you know all that you can do,
And it's powerful.
and then you can be able to do that through the power of reflection."
Wisdom.
Like each time I listen to that man, I'll be like, there are people that are embodiment of wisdom.
Wisdom, I'm telling you.
So guys, that is what we're talking about today, self-reflection. How can you be able to have time to reflect? And then what are those best times to do that? My brother Kennedy, you're welcome.
I
Can you say
mean,
something?
this is a very interesting topic. You know, we've been having conversation on this topic, earlier today.
Yeah.
The power of reflection. I mean, we are so busy in the world today that we don't take time to recount, how far we have come. Ask ourselves question: how can I make better use of my time? You know, this guy was saying, Jerome was talking about that we, both the rich and the poor, has 24 hours, right? What
true.
makes the difference is because the other person used their time better. Now, how does it come about that? Because it takes time to reflect, to plan, to recount, to re-strategize, to reorganize. Because, I was telling you about, what happened. That was last week.
About
Yeah. No, this is it's a different story. I think I think you or my other friend was. Peter was, yeah, it was Peter.
I don't think you do. What
See,
this share is I would like to know.
Yeah, I woke up in the morning. That's what that's what I do normally in the morning when I wake up. It's called power hour. And power hour is a 1 hour I give myself every day because that's when I get. I think mostly for everybody. Mostly it's like my power hour starts around 5:36. So at that point, I get ideas. I pick up a pen. I write down my goals. I pray. I go for a run at the treadmill. I make it a routine. First thing first, I have to make sure I make my bed and stuff like that. So this particular morning, that was 2 weeks ago, a call came in. And that was about my power hour. I don't know what. Normally, I don't pick calls like that. So I pick up that call, and this person started telling me about like he has an accident. His car is stuck somewhere. He's an old friend. We've not talked for a while. And she was telling me about this happened, and now he'll be going to call his insurance. So we got talking, and it was over like 2 hours, over like an hour to 2 hours conversation. Do you know that call messed up my whole day? I couldn't write down my goals. I couldn't plan anything for that day. That is why it's very important that you plan yourself. Like, you discipline the kind of mostly early in the mornings. That whole call mess up my day. I know it was an important call, but you have to always make sure that it's not everything that comes because there are a lot of distractions that can distract. And once your morning is messed up, your whole day is messed up.
That's true. That is true. Like, I agree with you 100% because it has happened to me over a couple of times, and that makes me to be able to know when to do what. Mine too, similar to yours. I also have my own time of meditation. Mine happens twice in a day. Mine is the last thing I do in the night before I sleep,
Yeah,
and then the
that's
first thing I do
very
in the
important
morning
too.
because I have to reflect. I have to go through the activities of the day. What were the things I was able to accomplish? What were the ones I was not able? How do I have to implement it or put it back into the next day's activity so that way it is always going to be a continual strive for success and excellence. So yeah, I have always had calls too, and trust me, it messes up the whole day. Like, especially in the system like this where everything is strategized, you have to do something at a certain part
certain
of. Yeah.
time.
So It really messed my day up. And when I went back to reflect, I noticed that all these things were happening after a while when I, for some reason, stopped doing those my few minutes of reflection at the end of the day or first in the morning, where I was just rushing into the day without planning it.
Yeah.
I ended up just moving around. And that is what is happening in the world today, guys. Like,
It's true.
most of us, we devalue the power of reflection. And that is why we just jump into the activities of the day. This world is full of so many distractions. It comes left, right, and center. Like, and if you are not so much focused on what you want to do, you'll be busy jumping in all these distractions, swayed by the crowd. That is why this part of motivation, reflection, is very wonderful and it's so good for us to be able to have. No matter how minute, how much time you can be able to create in your daily schedule, for you to think, reflect, and be able to ask yourself this question: the path I'm going through right now, is it the right path? If it is not, what am I going to do to change it? If it is the right path, how do I continue to sustain it? These questions are very, very important because that will make you more focused, just like you said, disciplined, be able to coordinate yourself irrespective of all the distractions happening in the world, so you can be able to get to your goals. And while you are doing that, remember to always pat yourself in the back and then, like, hey, give yourself some words of encouragement, because happiness is on the process, not what you get at the end. It is something you get when you're moving. And when you do that, when you have that peace of mind, when you have that moment of solitude, you can be able to know what you're doing, how you're doing it, and when you can be able to achieve what you're trying to get to. And it makes life a bit easy for you.
That is true, and that also reminds me of what Spinoza said. I mean,
oh my God!
Final words. Yeah. Like,
oh my God!
I read that guy, and he said,
oh, man.
he said the best activity of humanity is the power of reflection.
That's true.
A time of self-inventory, just like you do inventory in stores and in your place of work. Self-inventory. What could I have done better? Where did I miss it? How can I make better use of my time? Questions like these are what times of reflection can offer you.
That's true.
A time of reflection is something that we should create in our life. No matter how busy the world is, anywhere is, take a time. We are so busy trying to know other people, but we don't find time to know our own self.
And that is the greatest
Your
treasure.
own self.
That is the greatest treasure you can have.
It was a Norman Vincent Peale that said, "Man, know thyself, your own self."
Even Aristotle.
Yeah. Aristotle
even
said
Socrates.
That. Yes.
Like all these philosophers, great philosophers. Even René Descartes. In an attempt to understand self, he doubted everything, but he couldn't doubt the essence of man knowing himself, because that is the pinpoint, that is the quintessential aspect of every man's life. Once you know yourself, you can be able to show yourself to the world.
Show yourself.
And the world treats you the way you treat yourself. All these things can be known when you have time to go deep and inward, to be able to create that outward sign of that inward grace you have, which is the ability to know yourself. So that is why this is so powerful. For you to be able to know yourself, you have to take time to study yourself. And the only way you can be able to take time to study yourself,
power of reflection,
is to reflect. So power of reflection is important.
This is an interesting topic.
I mean, I think we're gonna talk more on this.
We're gonna be developing more on this. I mean,
we need to.
Knowing yourself is very important. That was why this guy also remind me of what this guy said. Socrates said, "And for an unexamined life, it's not worth living." A thorough examination of yourself to reach that. Like, maybe. What habit have I been doing this week that affected me? Can I change some little? Maybe get up more early, reflect. Can I, read more? Can I do more research? A self-reflection will completely change your whole life. I'm glad that this thing impacts somebody out there. Yeah. Take time to reflect as we be running up. Yeah. Final words, man.
Final words. Like it's so clear. Have time. Create time. Don't give excuses. Create time to reflect. That reflection, no matter how much the time you create for it, will help you to achieve a lot in life. We are working on it. We haven't gotten there, but trust me, we are not where we were before. because as a result of the power of reflection.
Powerful reflection.
So please take it very serious. Reflect on your past, your present, and also think about your future. To help you in life.
And don't forget to appreciate yourself.
Yeah.
We are so conscious about what I want this, I want that, I want this. Take a time to reflect, to see how far you have come. You might not be where you want to be now, but you are not where you used to be.
Exactly.
You have made progress. Appreciate yourself. Give yourself a pat at the back.
Yeah.
You are, closer than you think.
That's true.
Appreciate yourself.
Yeah. Well,
rounding up prime time.
We are going to talk more of this, but for now,
it's
see you
a lot
next
to talk
time.
about.
Have
You
a wonderful day.
Enjoy.